Hey,
Let's go.
groovy. What's up, y'all? Blue Slide Serenade. It's been a couple weeks since we've been able to get together on our personal little podcast. The Most Dope podcast has been pretty consistent.
Yes.
We need to knock this one out and get back on track with it.
Yeah.
Busy lives will do that to you.
Yes.
So, Blue Slide Serenade, basically a podcast about me and Marion, our life, our businesses, our adventures, struggles, hilarious moments, whatever it may be, everything and anything in between. Um, Two hosts, Gordy B, me, Gordon, and
The Queen Bee,
Queen B,
Marion.
Marion. All right. Um, So, episode overview of today's episode is going to be just life updates, personal stories, business spotlight. We'll go over recent DJing, MC, photo booth, balloon decor gigs, challenges, tips and tricks we might, be able to enlighten anybody with. Um, Things that are going on in the industry, DJing, MCing, photo booths, balloon decor. Um, Current events, pop culture, movies, music, things of that nature. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Life events and personal stories, recent events. I guess one of our biggest recent events is Havana Night,
Yeah.
number 3.
Yes.
Havana Night number 3. It could be number 2. Because the first one was kind of an impromptu, hey, let's get together tomorrow and let's see how many people we can get out here and see if we can make this make sense. And it did. So we jumped into Havana Night 2, went all out, decor, LEDs, balloons, photo booths. We had a singer,
Yeah.
a couple DJs, whole lot of dancers. And then this last event, we had a dancer,
Yeah.
Shiva, I believe her name was. She's Iranian, so she's Iranian, moved out to Ventura County, and now I believe they're in Kern County, and I think they have a dance studio here, or they're involved in the community with, dancing and all of that nature. We've had a couple one-off things, little birthday party here and there, graduation party here and there, quite a few photo booths going out. And one of the bigger ones, again, right up there next to Havana, Off the Rails.
Yeah.
We got to go hang out with Becca, and I think his name's Anthony, her husband's.
Husband.
Yeah, Tony, Anthony. Got to hang out over there, took a photo booth over there, spun some reggae, some Afro beats, some mashups, some hip hop / reggae mashups. Just a good time overall. Good time overall. Which one was your favorite event?
They all have like this little different about them, right?
Their little
They're
uniquenesses.
unique, and the people, and you know, I think with Off the Rails was fun because it wasn't so stressful,
Yeah.
where things need to get done and we have to do this and that, and over there we just got to be ourselves and enjoy the people and have a drink, and it was nice.
Yeah, hang out.
Hang out.
Yeah. Everybody loved the music. We had a few people come out and support us. Oscar and his wife, Adam and his wife. Had a few people come out, hang out, support. But that is an interesting thing, when we go to Off the Rails, Jerry's, things like that. It's not quote unquote our event. We don't own the event per se. We just perform
Yeah.
and or provide a service. Whereas with 1933 Havana Night, we are working
All day.
all day, our tails off. I am having to take a Friday off of work. I'm having to take PTO, so I'm missing a whole day of work. That income, which is pretty significant.
Yeah.
Not to toot my own horn, beep beep.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we're in a place that I can do that, right? So it's not a big deal.
And don't get me wrong, Havana Nights, I have a great time. It's a wonderful night, but by the time 1:30 hits,
Oh, we're out. We
We're
don't even break down.
no, I'm
We're out.
tired.
Yeah, we leave. We bounce. So normally we're there at 1933 at about 11 a.m., 12 p.m. We're there all the way till about 5:30 p.m. We got to go pick up the girls if it's our weekend with our girls. Rush back home, jump in the shower,
Yeah.
well, you have to. It takes me like 2 minutes to get ready. I shower. What is it? Shit, shower, and shave. The 3 S's.
Yeah.
I don't shave, so shit and shower, which everybody does, and that's what I have to do.
He doesn't even have to pick out his clothes.
What do you mean? I mean, you don't pick them out. I mean, look, I'm easy. I can just wear shorts and a t-shirt, jeans and a t-shirt. I don't. But you know what? This last Havana, we really upped the professionalism, if you will.
Yeah.
Like we went out there suited and booted. We were dressed to impress. It was a professional, very, very, very professional event.
Yeah.
Well, I think we had 250, about 250
Yeah.
in attendance. We did pretty well. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, that is an entire event and experience that we are doing and we are setting up. It is 5 hours of setup between the both of us.
Yeah.
5 hours with you, 5 hours with me. Go pick up the girls, get home, get them situated, get them settled in.
Make sure they're fed.
Yeah, everything's good, and then head back to 1933.
Yeah.
So there's about an hour and a half, 2 hour period where we go from 1933 out to go, take care of business. Then back to 1933 at like 8 p.m. or, whatever, because the social dance portion, or no, I don't think it's the social dance. It's the intro dance, their free class that they do.
Yeah.
That starts at 9 on the dot, right? And this last Friday, this last Havana Friday, we probably had 100 people already at 9 on the dot.
Yeah.
Between people getting in there trying to catch a seat, people wanting to go do the intro class. By default, right away, 100 people.
Yeah.
Now everybody knows, people show up later, right? Fashionably late. That's why that's why that saying exists. Fashionably late, because people are going to show up at 10:30, 11, 11:30. But even by then, we had 200 people.
Yeah.
So the next goal with Havana is we have a lot of growth that we're looking at. We're looking at more talent, singers, dancers, whoever might want to come out and showcase their skills, their talents, their abilities. We're gonna do some techie stuff. We got our photo booths that are going to be. If anybody's rented our photo booths before, just to give you a brief glimpse, if you haven't, there's several different functions on them. You can take a photo in successions of 4. So if you hit photo, it'll have you take 4 different pictures. If you do GIF, it'll do a GIF. If you do boomerang, it'll do a boomerang. And that's about where we leave it. There's other options to do some other things here and there, but I think those 3 are the biggest ones and cover most things. Well, after you take those, you'll be presented an option to SMS immediately.
Yeah.
So you click the SMS button, you put your phone number in, and it texts you your media, your pictures, your GIFs, your boomerangs immediately.
Yes.
Well, we have integration now that we will be live streaming those pictures and GIFs and boomerangs throughout the evening live as the evening unfolds on all the projectors
Yeah.
in 1933. So, people are going to have fun with it, I think. People are going to go take pictures and come back inside and just wait till they see their
Till
picture
her
up on the
picture comes
TV.
up. Yeah.
Which
That'll be fun.
it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. And we have some other stuff. We won't go too far deep into it, but we have other things that we're working on. We less than 24 hours after the last event, we have already started planning the next.
Yeah.
We already have the post out there. We have the event out there. We're trying to invite people. We would love it if anybody could comment, like, share, post, tell your coworkers, tell your family, tell your friends. I think the next major goal is going to be 300,
Yeah.
which I truly believe we'll hit 300 July 26th. And we're going to keep growing it. We got a lot of work to do on it, and we're having a lot of fun with it. So that's a nice touch. So we got to shout out everybody that has come out and supported us, rented our booths, rented our lights, anything. Came out and simply supported it. Havana Night came out and supported it off the rails. Like I said, Oscar and his wife, Adam and his wife. And those are busy individuals as well.
Yeah.
Adam and Oscar are very, very, very busy.
Yeah.
And then of course, off the rails, Becca, Anthony, having us out there, allowing us to come hang out and provide some vibes, provide some music and things of that nature. 1933,
Yeah.
Brian, Russ, Bree, Nate, Lyle, security, everybody that's out there making that possible, and obviously CNS, Carlos and Stephanie.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Carlos and Stephanie, I'm not even going to flatter myself or entertain myself, but Havana Night would not be happening without them.
Oh no.
They are the meat and potatoes, if you will, for Havana Night.
Yeah.
They have such a hold on the community. They have such an influence in the community. They have such a following in the community. We're just blessed to be able to work with them. And they have very, very similar work ethics, ideas, and things of that nature,
Yeah.
and a vision for Havana Night. Not just, hey, this Friday and that's it, right? What's our vision, our overall vision, our 5-month plan, our 9-month plan, things down the road. But that's about the gist of business right now.
Yeah.
Challenges and wins. I think one of our biggest challenges,
I think it's time.
yeah, time is a killer.
It's a huge challenge.
If we could clone ourselves, it would be so wonderful. However, that may be an opportunity, right? I'm not going to complain about time and things of that nature, but that might be an opportunity to where we can hire a couple people, provide an income for a couple people for,
Yeah.
various projects, various things. We're going to need a couple people for 1933 on July 26th. We're going to need somebody at the door. And I'm not sure. I think we're going to need a couple people.
We'll see.
But we'll see. Photo booths and props.
Oh.
Now, props, I hate props. I mean, I love them. They really set things apart. They enhance, they're fun.
Yes.
You probably get better candid moments with people that have props,
Yes.
right? However, if you do not invest in quality props, and I'm talking about PVC, things that are not flimsy, things that are not going to get torn up too easily, props just kind of, I'm not a big fan of them. We order our props from Amazon or whoever. They're cheap. They're paper cutouts. You got to glue the damn sticks to the props half the time. They come with little dots that don't work. So we hot glue every single one of them. It's literally like a little factory hot gluing stuff. But they're super flimsy and they get torn up every single time. And most of it is unruly little kids,
Yeah.
parents that are at some, event that are just letting their kids run amok.
Uh-huh.
And look, I'm not going to say they're bad kids because they tore up a photo booth prop, right? That doesn't mean you're a bad kid. But there might be a certain level of respect or appreciation or maturity, things, that they might not necessarily have in their life yet.
Yeah, but it becomes a teaching moment for the parent too. Like, hey, respect people's stuff.
Yeah, yes, respect other people's property and
Uh-huh.
equipment.
But then it makes you think too, do we want to put more money into more expensive props when they're just going to be thrown?
Well, I think the PVC props are pretty durable, um, but they're definitely more expensive. And here's the thing, our price point on photo booths is borderline low.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that we're necessarily going to be providing.
Yeah.
Now, if you go with somebody else, use somebody else's photo booth, and they want to provide props for you, and they charge $600 or $700 for your event, cool. But we're usually down at about $300 or $400.
Yeah.
So props are not always going to be something that we're going to provide. Something that we're going to dump money into because we're on the low end already.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not to say that if you approach us and you ask us, I'm definitely going to entertain. I'm definitely going to quote you, and I will definitely get those props for you.
Mm-hmm.
But there is an added cost to that.
Yeah.
Not only the cost, but time, which time is also money. Other challenges in the industry: DJing, MCing. The next most dope podcast we're going to talk about haters, if you will.
Yeah.
That's kind of a childish term, but it's just easier to use. There is a lot of quote unquote hate in the DJ community, envy, insecurity, and I don't know if that's the entire DJ community around the world.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Kern County.
Yeah.
I really don't know. But on the other end, we've worked with a lot of DJs that we have collabed with and that we do have great relationships with.
Yes.
We did a lot with Johnny and Marcy early on. A whole
Yeah.
lot with Johnny and Marcy. Shout out to OG Redeemed and DJ Wifey. We
Oh,
did,
yeah. They're awesome.
yeah, great people. I love them. And I really don't have a problem with anybody in the community. Because I hate to say it's not that serious to me. It's serious. I love it and I take it seriously. Obviously, I put a lot of work and time and passion and podcasts and collaborating and things of that nature. DJ Ace, my boy, Dos Muchos, Ill Flow.
Nate.
Yeah, Nate. Yeah, does Nate have a DJ name?
I don't know.
Is it just Nathan Antoine? Nate Antoine? Now, Nal, Nathan Antoine something. That's his company now.
Okay.
I don't think Nate has a quote unquote DJ name,
Yeah.
but I technically don't have much of one either.
Yeah.
Gordy. Everybody knows me as G. Everybody knows me as Gordy. My name's pretty simplistic.
But what I love about our group that we're close to in the DJ community, they're all about us growing and us about them growing and
Oh, you know what? And we're leaving a lot of people out.
yeah.
John Coda, ASM Dance Floors. We got a trailer from John.
Yeah.
I mean, he hooked us up. I didn't have the credit. I didn't have the money right up front. But he trusted me. I trusted him. And that transaction went through just as we planned. We wrote it up. We signed it. We did a contract. We did everything the right way. Perfect. Then you're still talking about Richie Rich.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Rich is the one that introduced me to John, right? Rich is the one that has almost every DJ in this city go guest DJ spot at the Condors or at Chewy's or up at Eagle Mountain or wherever he's at. He's
Yeah.
all about support and all of those things. Flex. I
Yeah.
got my S9 from Flex. My mixer came from Flex. Mario out on the coast, out in Oxnard, Depeche Mode. I got my 1200s from him, right?
Yeah.
And look, anybody else, I apologize. I've probably left quite a few out. Oh, I'm working. I've been talking with Cheeto, another DJ. He does a lot of stuff down at the Mint, and he's doing a lot of graphics. He has a lot of projectors. He has a sick little setup where he has shit everywhere, like
Yeah.
just graphics up on the walls and everything else. So I've been talking to him, picking his brain. Hey, I got a sick mix.
Yeah, I was gonna say him. Yeah.
Derek has been instrumental for me
Yeah.
personally, huge. I have literally bought every single one of his music packs, every single one of his crates. I have bought every single one. I have every one. Above that, I was subscriber number 1 to his Breaking Bread Foundation, his Patreon account, which he uses to go, help feed people up in the Bay Area.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I just talked to him this last week. I wanted to run it by him. We've been talking about it for a while, but I decided that I wanted to open up my own self-fi store. And I wanted to create my own crates and sell my own crates, my own intros and outros and things of that nature.
Yeah. And if you don't know something about Gordon, is his files, all his music is absolutely clean, pristine. You won't see anything out of place. It's perfect.
Everything's immaculate. I'm very OCD when it comes to my music. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm new. I'm fairly new. And that's how I had to get started. I had to be organized. There's things that are going to go wrong when you go DJ places. I don't want one of those things to be something that I have control over.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong somewhere, it's not going to be because of me, hopefully. Right.
Yeah.
So you want to set yourself up for success. You want to be organized and you want to set yourself up for success. But anyways, yeah, I was talking to Derek and I said, hey, man, I just kind of wanted to run this by you. I didn't necessarily have to, but out of respect for him, UGZ, and some of these other guys that have their self-fi stores and all their crates and everything, but mostly Sick Mix because, again, I own every single one of his crates. I wanted to get his blessing, if you will.
Yeah.
And he was cool as hell about it. He's like, yeah, man, for sure, do it. And so I'm starting to work on some crates, intros, outros. And those will be up on the Self-Fi store. I don't know if it's like $10 a crate, 20 to 40 tracks or something. I don't, just whatever for me. It's just another way for me to be more involved in the community, like this podcast, like the Most Dope podcast. It's just a way for me to get deeper into the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm sure I left out a whole bunch of people, so I apologize. I'll try to get a nice little list running for the Most Dope podcast next week. I'll try to get everybody shouted out, but again, I love you all. I appreciate you all. It's been a nice little run so far. That's business. What else? We had to go to the dentist. Whew, man. Hey, there ain't nothing like dental pain. I have a theory that your teeth and your nerves in your mouth are in such a close proximity to your central nervous system, aka your brain, that little pain signal fires very quickly. Very quickly.
Yeah.
And look, I grew up poor, right? I grew up in Arvin, below middle class. I don't know that I would say poverty per se. We were okay in Arvin, right? There was people that had it better. There was people that had it worse. Not a big deal. But dental was not one of the priorities in the household, right?
No.
That was a luxury, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a luxury. So, anyways, I got some pretty bad teeth here and there, and I still don't really take care of them as much as I should. Look, I floss multiple times a day, brush, everything else. I think genetically I just might have some bad teeth, you
I
know?
think people do.
Yeah, I mean your brother Jesse has perfect teeth,
Yeah,
right?
he
And
does.
he
And
doesn't have the
growing up,
perfect diet.
no, but growing up, we always had to tell him, brush your teeth, brother, brush your teeth. And every time I went to the dentist,
He was cool.
he was cool.
Yeah.
So it's
I hate that.
yeah.
So anyways, we finally get myself into the dentist up here. I won't even tell you what dentist it was, but it was over on this side of town. Got in, they took all the images, all the x-rays. And I don't like the dentist. I think a lot of people don't like the dentist per se. But I think I might have had a couple bad experiences at a younger age where I really I don't trust them. You get that white coat syndrome where your fucking blood pressure
Yeah.
just shoots through the roof.
Yeah.
And which mine was like 170 or something, some crazy number, right? Like you're going to have a stroke or a heart attack range. Anyways, got it all, got me out of the seat, went over to the office, sat down with somebody. She had these couple sheets printed out and she started going over it. Man, you're talking about $16,000. And I'm like, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, I work for Dignity Health.
We pay for insurance.
I have dental insurance, but I think dental insurance is almost a scam. I feel like dental insurance is almost like a healthcare spending account. They don't really cover anything.
Mm-hmm.
Needless to say, I will not be wasting money on dental insurance in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I will just use whatever money I was going to spend on said dental insurance to take care of dental issues. I don't need a middleman to do what you're not going to cover for me.
Yeah.
Right? I don't need it. So, anyways, yeah, that was a big negative. So we shot down to Mexico,
Yeah.
you know, down the 5, straight down the 5, which I prefer, to the 805, to the 8. You know, your mom lives out in Lemon Grove.
Mm-hmm.
And then we keep shooting out towards, what is it, Calexico?
Uh-huh.
Get over to Calexico, park, walk across
To Mexicali.
to Mexicali, Uber to the dentist. I got like 3 root canals done for $600, which I guess
Yeah.
roughly $200 a piece, you know, plus whatever little fee here and there, maybe for like Novocaine or whatever they gave me for. So I think it was like $700 total. We're gonna go back down next Tuesday. Got to get some more work done, and hopefully, you know, 1 or 2 more trips, and I'm good. I'm caught up. I'm chill, but I'm good right now. I don't really have any too much pain or anything, and
Good.
so that's good. We got the dentist. Oh yeah, man, coming back from the dentist.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god. I'm in a foul mood. I'm probably just in a bad mood, and you get to a point where you get tired of people feeling like people are inconsiderate or taking advantage or things of that nature. So
You were in pain.
yeah, and I'm in pain. Yeah, I'm not pleasant, right? So we're driving, and we decide to stop in is it Lyons or Castaic? Castaic. And we go over to the gas station. What's that one called?
Pilot.
The Pilot station. Well, anybody that's been to the Pilot station, they're single pumps through the parking lot. It's not like there's, you know, 4 pumps on each side. There's literally 1 pump on each side of their island.
Uh-huh.
And they're packed, which is understandable. People travel. So we just park behind a vehicle that's parked to get gas, yet they're not getting gas. So now at this point, I'm like, okay, look, man, you parked here. You're taking up a spot for people who actually need to get gas just so you can go inside and buy some monsters and corn nuts or something, right? Like, look, there's other parking spots, and this is not the right one for you. His boy was sitting outside on the passenger side of the vehicle, standing around. The gas door was open, but there was no pump in the vehicle, no gas actively being pumped. And I'm like, okay, well, somebody's going to come out and pump gas. Somebody had to go in and use cash. You know, not everybody is a digital person.
Yeah.
So, dude finally comes out, and I haven't said a word to his boy or anybody. And he starts pumping gas.
Yeah.
And it's like, great, we're next, right? No big deal. I'm glad I didn't say shit. You know, I'm in pain. I don't know if I'm just irritable and in pain, or if I'm just these guys are really inconsiderate pricks.
Yeah.
So this guy finishes pumping his gas, docks the gas gun or whatever into the machine, and then proceeds to start talking to another person after he's done pumping gas outside of his car.
Yeah.
And I'm done.
Yeah. So we honked at him,
Yeah.
and he started to.
He threw his arms up. He looked back, threw his arms up, and kind of gave the hold up little, the hands up in the air, like, hey, just wait a minute or whatever. And it's like, look, motherfucker, I've already been waiting for a minute. Nah, I'm not waiting another minute.
Yeah.
Get your fucking ass out of the fucking way of me getting gas. So right after he did that, he thought he was going to be funny.
Uh-huh.
And he started walking away from his vehicle back into the Pilot. Well, I don't know what to say about it other than I opened the Jeep door and I sprung out of the Jeep pretty aggressively and started walking towards the gentleman pretty aggressively. And he kind of stopped in his tracks.
Uh-huh.
And I said, is there a fucking problem? He was like, no problem. No problem. And he tried to mouth off about something else. But at this point, he is reversing course and about to go back to his vehicle instead of, further antagonizing the situation and walking back into the Pilot, which he had no need for. He was just trying to be a dick.
Yeah.
And he's mouthed off. He said, and I basically told him, I said, look, motherfucker, I'll move the vehicle for you. Like, I'm going to get in my Jeep and I'm going to plow through your fucking car and push you out of the way.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to proceed to get gas. So he runs back into his car. His boy never comes out to help him or check on him or anything else. And as he's pulling away from the gas pump, he flips me off.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, oh, whatever, dude. You just tucked your tail between your legs.
Exactly.
You tried to act like a tough guy. I jumped out of the vehicle. You seen me and you were like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wrong one. Because, look, there's always somebody bigger, stronger, tougher, faster, whatever.
Yeah.
And that goes for me included.
Yeah.
There's people bigger than me, too. There's people smaller than me. Look, you can get any one of these little jujitsu guys to just beat the shit out of a huge guy, right? Size isn't really necessarily a deciding factor, but it is intimidating and it does help.
Yeah.
So anyways, we get gas, finally. And we decide, okay, well, let's stop and eat.
Yeah.
We've been driving. We're tired. So we go to Denny's right next door. Park, get out, go to the door, only to be told they're closed.
Yeah.
And this is very, obviously unexpected. So there was probably something wrong in the facility for them to be closed. Well, Denny's is 24 hours, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. So then we're like, oh, okay. Walked off, jumped back in the Jeep, seen a Frosty King or a Foster's Freeze or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was. They were closed. I think they had drive-through access, but look, we were kind of tired. We just wanted to stop and stretch out a little bit. So I was like, okay, you know what? Now that's two. Let's just go to the McDonald's right here real quick.
And
We park, go to the door. It's locked. And it was the side door. So I was like, okay, well, maybe just the side door's locked. So then we go to the front door. It's locked. So at this point, I'm like, all right, we're fucking out. If this is a sign to tell us, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Let's go ahead and get you out of here. Let's just get out of here. We'll stop in Fraser or something, right?
Yeah.
The bottom of the grapevine, anywhere, but we're not meant for this here for some reason. And right before we went to McDonald's, we get to the intersection. Our light turns green, and we are about to proceed through the intersection, and this LA County fire truck is already almost in the intersection before he even lights up his sirens and lights and blows through recklessly as all hell. Now look, hey, they're first responders. Hey, they there's something that they got to get to. So look, I ain't gonna really shit on them or anything about it. And I made mention. I said, okay, well, there's a wreck on the freeway now, so we're screwed anyways.
Yeah.
So we go to McDonald's, they're closed. 3 strikes, you're out. We're pissed off. I already almost had to beat somebody's ass at a gas station. I'm over it. Like, I'm in pain. I'm over it. I'm not the one. Don't test me today. So we get on the freeway right out of Castaic, and like a mile in, traffic is backed up. 2 hours standstill on the freeway, closed. I guess like a big truck, not a diesel, you know, not a big rig, but like a F-350 or a 3500, you know, a dually that was carrying a transporting cars. It had about 3 cars on their little vehicle transport. All caught fire, all burnt down to the ground. So, yeah, hey, somebody had a worse day than us.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times you lose sight of that. You're like, fuck, man, and would start pissing and moaning and everything else. But you're like, hey, in actuality, somebody had a worse day than us. We're alive. We have our health. We're going to be home in a couple hours. We have our vehicle. It hasn't burnt down, you know. So we stopped in Fraser on the way back and then finally got home.
Yeah.
But talk about vehicles, man. That Jeep. Oh, man. Our Jeep is the most temperamental vehicle in the world. Now, I didn't help it. And my dad always used to say, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But I've always been of the mantra or the the thinking, hey, I'm going to make it better.
Yeah.
You know, it's not broke, but it could be better.
Yeah.
And, you know, Jeeps are like Barbies or stuff like that. Barbies to girls as Jeeps to boys. The customization is almost endless.
Yeah.
Now, I did everything to mine, and I got it the way I wanted it to look, and had to replace gears and all kinds of money in it. But anyways, you know, it's lifted way up, has huge wheels, tires, has armor all around, has a tent up on the top. Inevitably, it's a lot heavier than it once was. So you just can't drive it like you used to or originally did. Going up a hill, you gotta take it easy.
Yeah.
You gotta take it easy. Them RPMs try to jump up on you, and when those RPMs jump up, temperature jumps up. And, you know, you don't want to explode an engine or anything.
Yeah.
Which I've done. And that was a cool little 12 G's or something.
Yeah.
It was not cheap. It was rough. Very rough. We got some photo booths coming up. We have a few more DJ events, you know, big ones, little ones. Balloons are really taking off.
Yeah.
Really taking off, especially since we're actually posting them now. You know, it wasn't really getting pushed as much as like G's Body Works. Every time I do something, I post.
Yeah.
right? And that's to keep things top of mind. You know, if people don't know what you do, they're never going to be able to ask you for your services or your products.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a win for me, right? Where
yeah, absolutely,
I need to post more.
it's a big win. That posting more, getting your name out there, getting your art, because it's pure art. Getting your art out there is just beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And it's always wanted at events. When somebody goes to plan a baby shower, balloons are almost like number one on the list, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have food, maybe catering, maybe stuff like that, but they also want the decor.
The photo opportunity.
Yeah. Photo opportunities are huge, which is something that, you know, we do over at 1933 with a couple photo booths, beautifying things. You know, there is a lot of photo opportunity. Speaking of that, we're also looking at a videographer, photographer, you know, again, local talent to sing, perform, do whatever, and really just keep growing that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. The balloons is a big win. The CRM software, Honeybook,
Yeah.
getting all of that set up, getting all of our invoices, all of our contracts, you know, all the CYA stuff, but also that professional touch.
Yeah.
You know, you're able to provide somebody an invoice from a legitimate piece of software with your letterhead, with your logo, with everything, and it's legit, right?
Yeah.
And that's not to say that you can't conduct business via Instagram DMs or via Facebook Messenger or text message. And yeah, hey, sure, I got you. Zelle me $150 to secure your date. The remainder's due a week before, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think that almost pigeonholes people, right?
Yeah.
To a certain, it's not a demographic per se, but to the public, right? When you start working with businesses, you need invoices, you need professionalism. You're not gonna, you know, they're not, a business isn't a legitimate big business is not going to hit you up and just send you $150 via Zelle or Cash App,
No,
right?
they're not.
So don't pigeonhole ourselves. Look, I'm still gonna do the Facebook Messenger, text message, stuff like that for people if that's how they operate. I don't care. But I also want to have everything ready for the huge corporations, companies, businesses, people that need to you know, account for things and write things off and do all of that. So that's that honey book, the posting, all of those are very, very big things. Our friends, people that we've actually rented to, people that we've actually decored for, those that's also very important too, because they're gonna send business.
Yeah.
They're gonna send business. We don't really have any, you know, we're thinking about going live on the podcast eventually.
Yeah.
Probably video podcast eventually. But probably initially it'll probably just be going live on Facebook or Twitch.
Yeah.
You can see us, you can interact with us, hang out, you know, talk shit, ask questions. You know, we can do some polls and, you know, things like that, you know, get a little bit more interactive with y'all. Some giveaways, some prizes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What else have we got going on? You know what? Let's talk about a little culture. Let's talk about the shoe game.
Yes.
Let's talk about the shoe game. Now, we are, I don't know if I'd say pretty big fans of YouTube, but we like to watch a lot of YouTube and just let it run.
Yeah.
Right? You know, it's mindless. I can work on music. I can work on healthcare, epic, career. I can work on content. I can work on a lot of things with, in this instance, I'm going to say Rami the Icon, Cool Kicks.
Yeah.
We watch a lot of it. Now the funny thing is I would never spend over $300 probably on some Jordans or some whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's just not my thing, right? Now
Yeah.
you tell me to spend, $2,000 on all this podcast stuff. Yeah, no problem. Cool. Yeah, I'll get some podcasts. Yeah, I'll get some DJ stuff. I'll get some stuff that will vision wise think will eventually help business, help make money.
Yeah.
That's the only time I really spend money anymore is if I have thought it out and I've said, you know what, that's going to help XYZ or that's going to make money.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I really don't spend that money. But then again, I do spend that money because we have 5 daughters
Yeah.
who all want Jordans. Jordan 4 concretes, this and that, and pink and purple and colorways and whatever else. And I think it's usually always Jordan 4s, but I think they like a few of the other models too. And those things like $500, StockX, wherever you pick them up from, because you're trying to get legit ones, right? Because
And these kids know.
oh yeah, the kids know. They know the like they know if the color's slight. Again, because we watch Cool Kicks.
Yeah.
And Rami, and what's the other cat's name? I love him too.
Oh, I know, the guy with the curly hair.
Yeah, I always call him Jack Harlow.
He does look like him.
I mean, look, he don't look like him really. It's just because he's white and he has curly hair.
Yeah.
And, that's why he's quote unquote Jack Harlow. But they go through and they inspect these shoes that people are trying to sell them, and they're like, okay, well, the color's slightly off.
They teach you.
The label on the box, the font is a little too thin. They don't smell right. They hit the bottom of the sneaker and they'll say, if it sounds like a cantaloupe, it's good, but if it sounds like a watermelon, it's not.
Something like that.
And there's all kinds of shit that goes into it for them to be able to cover their asses and make sure that they're not getting forgeries, fakes, Personally, if I ever get some Dre's, some Jordans, some SBs, bricks, whatever, Dunks, I'm going to get a Nike, don't get mad at me, a Jordan, don't get mad at me, but I'm going to get the knockoffs.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to worry about creasing my fucking shoes. I'm not going to worry about walking pigeon-toed or putting little crease guards in and all of this
or
other shit.
someone stepping on them.
Yeah.
I mean,
got
we're
way
at
too
places where there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. And it's not worth getting shot or stabbed or anything else like that for a pair of fucking shoes. Not my thing, man. But yeah, so a little hypocritical. We buy them for our daughters, but we will not do it for ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's not to say we don't spend money on ourselves in other areas, because we definitely do. But again, most of my shit is business. Most of the money I try to spend anymore is business. I don't know that I have anything. Like, look, I got turntables. I got like 3 controllers. Do I need 4 controllers? No, I don't need 4 controllers.
Do we want them? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's nice to have a backup, nice to have a few rigs, nice to even be able to help one of your boys out if one of his goes down or breaks or whatever else. And it's nice to have a setup that is static. It stays where it stays. You don't want to have to look. If I just want to play some music right now, I can literally walk over to the laptop, open it up, turn the turntables and mixer on, and go to town. A lot of people don't have that, and they have to go set their stuff up, break it down, put it back up, everything else. And by that time, I'm tired. I don't want to do it now.
Yeah, no.
But if it's already out, yeah, I'm rocking on them. I'm a rock on them. Yeah. So what else did we have that we were going to go over? We talked about the shoes. We talked about... Oh, we got some... Oh, man, yeah, we got another one.
That's kind of going a little bit back, but...
Hey, but it's all right. We, this is random. This is a random podcast.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about charity.
Yes.
Now, at the beginning of this year... And generally throughout our lives, we always try to be charitable.
And give
We always
back.
try to give back, donate, things of that nature. Um, sometimes, sometimes it gets to a point where you feel that it's might be getting taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Um, because there's other charitable organizations that we work with that gladly pay.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we give them a great discount,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes upwards of $300 discount, right? And we're only collecting 100, which is fine because we're still giving back. That
Yeah.
100 will cover our gas to and from, our time, and that's about it. We're not really profiting anything. And it doesn't always have to be about profit and making money and things like that when you give back. Other times you work with a charitable organization and they want it completely free, which again, that is okay too. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
However, sometimes it feels like it gets taken advantage of. Sometimes it feels like a bit much. And sometimes you kind of wonder, there's income coming into these charitable organizations, right?
And it's because people talk.
Yeah.
People talk and they give themselves out. They basically start talking about all the money that is being put into this and that, and it's like, oh,
So you couldn't
okay.
give us $100 for gas?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's getting a little, I wouldn't say out of hand yet. We're going to handle it, take care of it, make sure that we're, doing our due diligence and homework. And
I think, it gets us to the point where we're going to have to limit ourselves. Hey, we're only going to do 10 this year. That's it.
yeah,
Because it's work.
yeah, it absolutely is. You have to squeeze it in, and a lot of those charitable things are during weekdays, even, right?
Mm-hmm.
Middle of the week, Tuesday afternoon. Like, well, do you understand that means I have to take off of my work and my job? Marion has to take off of her work and her job. And one of us or both of us are going to have to go over there, set things up, leave, come back, break it down, leave, go home, right? And again, well, I just got done talking about this Jeep. The thing gets 11 miles a gallon, all right? That's nobody else's problem but my own. Um, but
Yeah.
I got to at least cover my basic expenses.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make money off of everybody and charity and things of that nature, but yeah. So at the beginning of the year, we don't do New Year's resolutions in the classic sense of New Year's resolutions. We create plans.
Yeah.
We don't just have goals. We don't have resolutions, because if you don't have plans for those things, they're junk.
Yeah.
They are what they are, right? Like, oh, I want to lose weight. Okay, what's your plan? All right, are you going to start meal prepping? Are you going to start? What are you going to do that, right? What are the 4 steps that you're going to take to try to achieve that quote unquote resolution? So, anyways, me and Marion every year we get together and we figure out our priorities, right? She'll get a big sheet of paper. I'll get a big sheet of paper. I'll put my top 10 things that I think I want to achieve or accomplish this year. She'll put her top 10, and then we'll mix those bad boys together and create a top 10 that has both of our stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we like to revisit that list.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say frequently, but we keep it top of mind because, it's something that we know we can scratch out.
Yeah.
We accomplished something. We completed something. We did something we set out to do. So 6 months in, June, July, we're here, and we start going through all of them. And we have been, again, not to sound cocky or toot our own horn, but we have been wildly successful at accomplishing and achieving what we set out to do.
Yeah.
We were able to knock like 20 things off of our list.
Yeah.
And once we do that, then we reevaluate, right? We reevaluate. Now, how important is the remaining items? What do we need to redirect our focus and energy on? What do we need to add to the list? What do we need to remove from the list? So we got there, and we're knocking that out already as well.
Yeah.
That's going very, very well. And I've never been that person, right? That's been super organized and goal orientated, all of that stuff. But there is something to writing something down on a piece of paper
Yeah.
and creating a plan for each one of those things and keeping it top of mind, having a picture of it in your phone, putting it up on the wall in your room somewhere, in your shop, wherever it may be, so you can just keep looking at it every day when you wake up and like, okay, what do I got next? Let's knock something else out. And it gets a little addicting. It's a little addicting for me to do that, because you see progress and you're like, okay, I know how to make progress finally. So that's a nice thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how big or how little it is. It's just an accomplishment. It's a goal.
And that's why I try to preface it is I'm not trying to brag or sound cocky or anything. Shit, some of the stuff on the list was like, hey, pick up after yourself. It's just like, hey, there's some of the simplest things, right?
Yeah.
Now, look, that's not, hey, we have some huge things on there, but we also have some very, very small things that we just feel will make our lives better, easier, more comfortable, and or contribute to our ability to achieve those other goals.
Yeah.
Right? Less time spent wasted here, less time spent wasted there, less money spent wasted here. Now we can use all of that extra energy that we were having to use on some real thick stuff, like real big stuff, things meaningful and matter. What else? What do we got in pop culture? We got some movies.
Oh, yeah.
We watched Inside Out 2 with the girls. Great movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was great. Second one's great.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Anxiety.
The new character.
Don't. Hey, you can't spoil. I don't. No, I didn't spoil. I just said a human emotion called anxiety. You're the one that said, "Oh yeah, a character comes out and name's anxiety." I told you before we started this podcast, you can't spoil shit for people. People get mad.
It's been out long enough.
Hey, but not everybody has had the ability. Hey, we're talking about our economy. Not everybody's been having the ability to go spend some extra money in this economy.
That's true.
Between gas and food, hey, we're doing good to survive at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, let's not forget about electricity and the amount of money PG&E is trying to rake Californians or whoever over just raking them. And, you kind of seen it coming with solar and everything else. PG&E is not going to want to lose money, because, 70% of 50, 40, I don't know what the numbers are, people are converting over to solar, right? So now they don't have that energy bill. They're paying a solar company, and they're paying a solar company much less than what their energy bill was.
Yeah.
Well, do you think PG&E is just going to lay back and be like, oh, cool, yeah, we're making less money now? No. They're going to charge you more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to. Same thing is going to keep happening with fuel. All these electric cars, the hybrids, the hydrogen hybrids, all of these other, alternative fuels that are coming out. Do you think all these oil companies are going to be like, okay, yeah, well, we had a good run. Our time is coming to an end. Nah, gas is going to go to 6, go to 7, go to 10. A lot of people don't understand or know that in European countries, gas prices are exorbitant, like ridiculous, $10 and above for a liter or whatever I don't know, they're a Royale with cheese. You know why they call it a Royale with cheese?
No.
Because of the metric system. You don't even know what I'm talking about
No,
right now.
I don't.
I just made you watch the movie Pulp Fiction. Oh, man. Come on. Look at the big brains on Brad. You know what they put on French fries in Amsterdam instead of ketchup? Mayonnaise. That's John Travolta right there. Yeah, we watched that. We watched the new Bad Boys movie. Look, again, and I've said this probably on almost every single podcast. I don't like Will Smith. I don't respect the guy. And it shouldn't bother me as much as it does, but I don't like a man of his stature doing what he did to Chris Rock, right? I mean, it was kind of, it might as well have been a female up on the stage that you're slapping the shit out of. That's how I view it. You don't hit a woman and you don't hit a little nerd. Chris Rock's a little nerd. Will Smith, man, this dude's been ripped for like all kinds of movies, just jacked. I, Robot, I Am Legend, Ali, Bad Boys. You know, dude's always jacked. He's a big dude.
It was a good movie.
It was a very good movie. And again, I have to side with Marion on this one. You can't really get rid of his
Talent.
his work.
Yeah.
You know, his catalog.
And his work ethic.
Yeah, you can't really get rid of that. And look, humans, people, they make mistakes. So yeah, I need to ease up on the guy a bit. He's made a mistake. He tried to apologize. Whether or not somebody else accepts that apology or not, you know, you can't control that. You can control what you can control. And that's you apologizing, recognizing you did something you shouldn't have done, being remorseful for it, you know, whatever it may be. But yeah, very good movie, and I won't dive into it. And I won't.
No, but I want to talk
no,
about
I'm going to tell you
it.
the reason I'm not going to dive into it, because as soon as I do, you're going to spoil shit for people again. You can't be trusted.
Oh, man.
What's his name? Lil Reggie?
Oh, yeah.
Lil Reggie. Chitty chitty bang bang. Hey, Lil Reggie. Hey, I'm glad he's still in the movie.
That's all we're gonna say.
Yeah.
Chitty chitty bang
Chitty
bang.
chitty bang bang, motherfucker.
It was a good movie.
Yeah. Anderson Paak and the Free Nationals going on tour. We are definitely getting tickets. We are definitely going. Love Anderson Paak. He has that funk. It's not just hip hop. It's not just rap, but he has that funk, that funky bass, that, you know, that groove, that groovy, funky hip hop. It is just amazing. So we got to go see Anderson, and he'll be up and down California. So we might be able to watch him a couple times.
Yeah.
Just go hang out, have a good time. Maybe invite somebody. Maybe take a couple people.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, that didn't sound very... Actually, everybody listening, sorry. You motherfuckers are not invited. I don't know if you heard that in Marion's voice or not, but she was like, we'll see. That means no. That means, Gordon, you fucked up and you're not inviting anybody. I'm like, okay. Am I wrong? Tell me.
Maybe.
No. Let the people know. The people want to know.
We'll see.
The people deserve to know why you won't let them come with us to go watch Anderson.
I think my thing is I don't like to be on other people's time.
No, we don't have to be. You're not coming in our vehicle, but we can go to the show together and then go our separate way, right?
Yeah.
I don't care if you go in late. I don't care if you go in early. But we can hang out at the show.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know who I think would love to go?
Who?
Becca.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Off the Rails. That's kind of her style, her genre. You know, like she likes the De La Soul and all the old school hip hop. But I really think that some of the jazzy, groovy, funky Anderson Paak, Schoolboy Q, Mac Miller, you know, all of these artists. I think, you know, that's the good stuff currently, right? I don't do this Trippie Redd and some of this other junk that I don't really have a great appreciation for. Hey, but again, as DJs, we play music for other people, not for ourselves.
Exactly.
If we played music for ourselves, I don't know how much of a crowd I'd have, because I'd have a whole bunch of reggae, whole bunch of Afro beats, and a whole bunch of that groovy Anderson Paak, Mac Miller, Schoolboy, Khaled, all kinds of all over the place. I'd be playing
Yeah.
Fortunate Son. I'd be playing 70s and everything else, funk, oldies. I'd be all over the place. Oh, true open format, right?
Yeah.
Cumbias, merengue, salsa, bachata, mashups. I'd be playing all of it.
Yeah.
And I
know what
love all
want?
of it.
You know what I want to know?
What?
Where did Drake go?
Hey, man, never been a fan.
Me
Never
neither.
been a fan. I think he looks goofy for one. I'm not sure why women think he's...
Babe, you don't say things
What?
like that.
He looked goofy as hell. He looked like a turtle or something. He has a weird face.
Babe.
But beyond that, Common tried to tell people like 15 years ago that Drake was a punk. Right? People been, but he has it figured out. I can't hate him for the business side of it, right?
And Mac Miller didn't like him either, huh?
He did it all without a Drake feature. That's one of his lines in one of his raps.
Yep.
I did it all without a Drake feature. We don't need Drake.
I know, but where'd he go?
He has disappeared. Kendrick done bodied him. Bodied, buried, done. But then again, arguably, where's Kendrick now?
Yeah.
Like, did they need each other?
No.
Well, where's Kendrick now? Is he on to the next song, on to the next album? Like, Kendrick's always been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
He has a couple albums. And then, people trying to make that argument about the amount of platinum and triple platinum and quadruple platinum and whatever other terms are used for Drake and his success and his
Yeah.
and it's like, hey man, you're talking about quantity over quality. It's like there's a big difference, right? There's a huge difference. And I'm gonna piss a lot of people off of this one too. I'm not a fan of LeBron. I don't like LeBron.
Yeah.
As a basketball player, as a human being, it sure seems like he's a great human being.
Yeah.
Great human. He's not in the news cheating on his wife, beating on his wife, fucking hookers, doing drugs, beating his teammates' asses, do anything,
Yeah.
right? Of course, you got Coach LeBron, right? He's a coach of every team he plays on, right? And he's probably gotten plenty of coaches and players fired and everything else. But look, number one scoring, okay. But how about all the other stats? You're talking about quantity over quality.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you're talking about LeBron with a couple rings, building these super teams and shit. I still stick with Kobe. I
Yeah.
still stick with Jordan. And I'll still stick with like AI or Penny Hardaway or Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Right? Tim Duncan. I'd stick with a whole bunch of other players that stuck it out with their teams, developed chemistry, grew, overcame, stuff like that. Not people that run from team to team, trying to build super teams and stuff like that. I'm not a fan of it. So yeah, you have the scoring title, but you don't have the championship title or several other titles. So, I mean, if that's what your goal was, hey, that's his goal. I can't argue with his goal.
Yeah.
I don't like him as a baller. Don't like him. All right. Well, we're about an hour and 10 minutes into this long one.
We always say we're going to keep it to 30, 45 minutes, but...
Yeah, but I mean, if you're into some juicy substance,
yeah.
hey, we're going to talk about it. We got nothing else to do, nothing better to do. Look, you don't have to listen to the whole hour, and you definitely don't have to listen to it all in one sitting.
No.
Hang out, chill, listen to 20 minutes, go on about your day, listen to 20 minutes on your way home, listen in the bathtub, listen in the shower, listen while you're getting ready, doing whatever. I don't care. I appreciate it, if you get a kick out of it and, a little glimpse into our our crazy ass lives.
Yeah.
18-hour days, and a lot of the things people don't see.
Yeah.
Everybody sees the benefits.
Yeah.
Everybody sees the big Havana Night, off the rails, Jerry's Pizza, wedding 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, photo booth 15 to 16, and graduation party, quince, whatever it may be. But yeah, people don't see the
behind the scenes.
18-hour days. And that's not even exaggeration.
No.
I mean, 16 might be average at this point, but definitely time. Talked about a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, but if you guys, if you make it through this, subscribe to the podcast. It's free. All you got to do is add it to one of your streaming platforms. I think we have a way that you could donate like $3 or however much you want. I don't remember what it was, but
Yeah.
you could possibly shoot us $3 so we can buy a soda or something.
Stop it.
We don't need it. We don't need it. We're not struggling that bad. But if you like it, you find some humor in it, and you like listening in, and you wanna donate, you wanna contribute, hey, feel free. We'll give you a shout out and all that good stuff. But leave some feedback, comment, like, share, do whatever. Next episode is going to be most dope.
Yeah.
That'll be next week. I think we're at least going to have Ill Flow and Dose here.
Yeah. I think Ace.
Yeah, I was trying to get Ace as well. And I know Spoon. Oh, you know what? I don't think I mentioned Spoon earlier.
Oh, Spoon is awesome.
Oh, man. Spoon is so wonderful. Such a breath of fresh air.
So humble.
Humble, fun, funny, a good spirit, a good soul.
He is.
Oh, man. I don't know if there's a bad bone in that dude's body. Love Spoon. He was talking about wanting to get on here and talk about haters.
Yeah.
So that is going to be the next episode for the most dope. We're going to talk about the hate, jealousy, envy, greed, 7 deadly sins, whatever you want to call it. We're going to talk about it. What were you going to say?
I said if nice had a definition, it'd be Spoon.
Yeah, Spoon's so chill, man.
He is awesome.
I love Spoon. And you know what? Spoon does things right.
Yeah.
His setup is immaculate.
Yes.
He takes pride in his gear, in his setup, in his appearance, in his performances. Hey, he has R&B Sundays, right?
Oh, yeah?
He's had a couple of those. We got to get out there. The last 2, we bought tickets to both. We gave tickets away to both, but we weren't able to go hang out. And I want to go hang out. I don't care about spinning. I don't want to do no guest set. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to do shit but sit there, eat some food, have some drinks, enjoy some tunes. But Spoon, hey, I apologize, Spoon. I left you out for a minute, my dude, but I did not forget you before the end of the episode.
Saved the best for last.
So yeah, that's going to be the next episode for the most dope. Our episodes largely are going to remain the same. A couple weeks, we'll do another Blue Slide Serenade. And again, it's always just going to be funny shit that's happened in our lives, current business, goals, projects we're working on, life, and just being real and just genuine, real people. I'll tell you whether I farted and shit on myself or whatever else. Hey, I don't care. I'm not embarrassed by any of that. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for listening in. I believe we've had over 150 streams of our podcast. Several cities, several states, 3 countries, which look, okay, I'm gonna try to make it sound like we're doing big things, but the countries have been Mexico, America and Canada. So yeah,
And I think Mexico was mom.
it was mom. It had to be mom.
She was in Mexico and she downloaded it from Mexico.
I'm not sure who was in Canada and listened to it. Hey, but thank you for my Canadian listener, my Canadian listener, because I don't believe we have multiples of them yet. But hey, all up and down California, Arizona, probably thanks to Dose.
Yes.
Up and down California, probably thanks to Illflow and Beck from Off the Rails. So yeah, again, thank you guys. I hope we keep growing it. We're going to keep doing it regardless. We don't care.
1, 2 listeners.
I don't care. You know, as long as you get a laugh and you get away from the monotony of the day-to-day grind and everything else like that, I've done my job and I've done what I've set out to I set out to do. Make somebody laugh and give you guys a sneak peek into our lives and maybe help you understand why we're quote unquote so busy and we may not be able to make it out everywhere all the time. But again, I will always support. We will always buy tickets. We will always give tickets away, whether we're going to be able to go or not.
Yeah.
And that's our way of showing you guys love and appreciation and recognizing your hustle and everything you guys are doing. So with that, we are out. Thank you guys for joining. Gordy B.
Queen B.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.